So I want to speak a little bit about what it was like. So I wanted to speak about what it's like to meet Tfue. Now, I met Tfue at TwitchCon 2018, and it was a great experience. I mean, Tfue is one of the main reasons I went to TwitchCon. I went there to learn about streaming, but I also wanted to meet some of my favorite streamers, and Tfue was one of them. And many of you know that he's one of the best Fortnite players, if not the best Fortnite players in the world. And I was able to meet him at the meet and greet on the day of the finals of the fall skirmish, and it was pretty awesome meeting him. I mean, he was pretty anxious and nervous, I think, because he had to do his meet and greet right before the finals of the fall skirmish, and they actually moved up the meet and greet time. And it was actually pretty easy to meet him. I didn't have to arrive too early. I got there around 10:30 or something like that, and only had to wait about an hour in line, but I was one of the first few people there, and it was actually pretty easy to meet him. And what it was like to meet him, he's very professional in all the things that he does. I mean, the way he talks is not necessarily professional, but I mean, the way he conducts himself and trains is very professional, and he was very nice, and he was very nice and easy to get along with when I met him. He was very nice and easy to get along with when I met him. But the one thing, but other than the meet and greet, I also saw him in a couple other places. He had some training before the fall skirmish where him and Cloak were up on this stage. In the fortnite hall, and you know, he was just training and talking to people. And even after he did his training, he went by the battle bus in the fortnite hall and met his fans, and he was very open with them and very nice, and you know, he's very good to his fans, and he's very professional. And he was very good to his fans. And Tfue is very good to his fans. He wasn't afraid to interact with them. You know, not a lot of the other streamers were like that necessarily. They weren't all around. They weren't as available as he was. But you know, he really is an inspiration, because he shows people that if you follow your dreams, like, they can come true. But he's really an inspiration because he shows that if you follow your dreams, they can come true. And you know, he's very young, and he could have gone to college, or maybe he will, but he believed in himself, and he trained hard enough to become who he is. And you can really see that in who he is, because he really focuses on playing the game and streaming. And it's not easy to be the best in the world or do what he does. For example, he won one of the skirmishes when he was sick, and many people mirrored it to the Jordan flu game. And it just shows that every day he goes to grind, and every day he does his job. And if you want to be a full-time streamer or anything like that, you do have to make it into a job. You can't just make it a hobby and go through the motions and think you're going to do it. But if you believe in yourself and put in the time like he does into becoming the best, then you can either become the best or you can earn a living from it. You just have to believe in yourself. And that's one thing he does do, is he believes in himself, because he works day in, day out doing that. And the thing that and from meeting him and seeing him at TwitchCon, you know, he was worried about his task at hand, which was performing in the fall skirmish. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to meet him, because I knew he was probably going to win. I knew he'd be more popular than ever afterwards, because he won like $400,000. They have to split it between him and Cloak. But I wanted to meet him. I'm inspired by him, and you know, he's a great person. And I think he'll have a lot of future success, whether it's with Fortnite or any other game. And he's just an inspiration to everybody out there, that if you work hard enough and you turn your passions into a job and you go in and work every day, that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. So that's sort of what I got from him, and I sort of knew some of this. I knew a lot of this from his stream, but it just cemented it when I met him at TwitchCon. And he might goof around on his stream a lot, but you know, he takes his job and his work very serious. And that's another thing I like about him. So Tfue, so meeting Tfue was very inspirational, and I think he's a good role model for a lot of people. Maybe not some of the things he says, but the way he acts and the way he shows up every day or trains every day or practices. It's easy to like go through the motions of things and not put your all, and things become monotonous. Like playing Fortnite every day is probably not the most fun thing, but he takes it seriously and that's his job, and so he shows up. And so that's something to learn, is if you do want to be a professional gamer, a professional streamer, you have to show up every day and approach it as a job and not just a part-time thing and you're not sure whether you're good at it or not. You have to believe in yourself, and that's one thing you can learn from Tfue. And that's one thing that I learned from him, and meeting him in person just reinforced that.